I do with my phone? Let's do this. Okay. So, any of you don't know who NIKKI makeup is, she's basically a celebrity makeup artist and her work is absolutely gorgeous. It's very glowy on the skin, but then glam on the eyes and lips. Brows are normally quite natural, so I feel like that's the type of vibe I want to go for today. I feel like that's the goal. Also, Alex is currently next door and my birthday presents over there somewhere and I'm dying to open them. So I'm gonna be good though. Just get on with work, you know. Birthday's tomorrow, not long to wait. And then also, do you like, oh, which way is it? My Christmas tree. I know I'm so early, but I'm pre-filming like a couple of vlogmases because I know I will be away for a couple of days, so I just need to be a bit of ahead of schedule. So that's me trying to be productive. Get your naked ass out of here. So first things first is just skin prep whilst we do the eyes. So I'm just going to take a luxury facial oil. This one is from Drunk Elephant. And I really like it. I'm a bit funny with oils. If I put too much on my face, then I will break out. But when I do it before makeup, I'm totally fine. So I can't sleep with it on, but before makeup it's fine. And I'm just using 2 little drops. And then I'm just going to pat it into my skin. Just on like the areas that I felt like I need it. So it's just like here. And then I have been picking this morning. Not my nose. Well, my nose, but this side, not this side. And then get some on the neck, you know. Don't want no saggy neck. Okay, then onto eyes. I really need to get myself an eyeshadow primer that actually is my colour. So I'm just going to use Shape Tape for the moment, like a really good full duty concealer is totally fine as long as you set it. Although I have heard that not setting it works, but I'm just not ready. I'm not prepared to do that yet. And then I've gone back to using my Too Faced Born This Way powder. You know when you haven't used something for a while and then you just think, oh, I'll try that again, and then you do and you're like, whoa, why did I ever stop using it? That was the situation. So I'm just going to take a little bit, tap it off, and then wax them on. It's just so fine, this powder. Like, it's honestly amazing. Like, I feel like the Laura Mercier one's really fine, but this one's so much finer. Then I'm going to take my Madison Makeup Dare to Blend palette. I'm going to just quickly do one eye so I know what I'm going to be doing, and then I'll show you how I do it. For my eyes, I went kind of cooler than what I would normally do, but I feel like that's a winter vibe. Even though I have used one warm shade, and that's my transition shade because I literally cannot stop using it as my transition shade, is Peach. And I'm just going to pick it up on my Morphe 504 brush. I'm just going to do like one sweep really of this shade. I'm not going to put too much on. Just want to warm it up just a little bit because there's nothing worse than having like greys near your eyebrow. Personally, that's what I think. Just using a fluffy brush, like the bigger the better. And then I'm going to take my Morphe M518 brush and I'm taking the shade, I nearly hit myself in the face then, Taupe, which is like a cool toned soft, I say soft grey. It's a cool toned soft grey. It's not too dramatic or too scary. And then this I'm going to pop straight into the crease, so from the inner corner to outer corner, and then drag it down. But I'm going to make sure that I'm not going above on top of the peach shade. That's why I'm raising my eyebrow. To stop me from, as like a makeup artist I would lift their brow, but I can't really do that with too many hands on my face. And then taking my 228 brush, I'm just going to pick up Fudge, which is this shade here, and this is like a cool tone brown. And I'm just going to take a little bit on like, the tip's like rounded, so you want to take a little bit on the end. And then I'm just going to like pat it into that outer bit. And then I'm just taking like a flat, I suppose it's like a detailer brush. And I'm taking the palest shade in the palette, which is Bare. And I'm just going to pop this on in like this center part and inner corner. was like, I can hear his music, and I was thinking, I'm gonna strangle him in a minute. Right, then taking my Tarte Man-Eater eyeliner. It's like my favourite liner. My hands are still oily from this serum, so everything's slippery and it keeps slipping out. And then I'm just gonna pop this really lightly all the way across my waterline. I say lightly, I meant like thin. You don't want it to be too thick. Just taking my little smudger brush. This one is from Makeup Addiction, but I can't see the thing, it's all rubbed off. But I'm just going to take a bit of smoke, and I'm just going to smudge out the outer corner. One of the most important steps is to curl your lashes. If I don't curl my lashes, I never used to curl my lashes, especially when I'm putting on eyelashes, but it honestly makes such a difference, so I recommend it. I do it every single day whenever I wear makeup. Then one of my absolute favourite mascaras, I think it has been my favourite since I went to Barcelona, which was since June, is the iconic London Boom Lash mascara. It's like the wand is just so spiky. And it just like separates, which I haven't done, separates all your lashes and then adds so much like volume to them. So I feel like a good mascara is a must, especially through the winter, because sometimes I just don't want to wear heavy lashes. So onto the skin makeup. Now that our skin's like prepped, I just want to show you the difference of doing this step, because it does make all the difference in the world. Obviously, I'm going to be using my primer and my foundation. So my Laura Geller Tinted Under Makeup Spackle Primer, I'm going to pop that on my hand. And then I'm going to take my foundation. Oh wait, that's in 9, not that one. 6, because I'm a little paler. And I'm going to pop 2 pumps on my hand. This is what I'm not going to do, but I feel like I should show you the difference. So I'm just going to pop on a little bit of primer to make it fair. And then I'm going to put on foundation without the added step. I'm going to take my iconic London HD Blend brush, and I'm just going to start patting and stippling that on. I've only used these brushes for maybe a month now, and I have to say, once you get the hang of them and once you know how they work, they are honestly beautiful. It gives a really lovely finish, but it's just having the patience to work out what works with you and what brushes for what, because I was using the really big one for foundation, but I prefer the just one slightly smaller, and I prefer, like, you know, when you're baking and you're doing like the underneath the cheek bit, that's the brush that I like to use. You know, like, it's nice, it's full coverage, there's a bit of glow because obviously there's serum underneath, but when you do this added step, which I'm going to take my absolute favourite iconic drops, and this one is in the shade Original. They do other shades which I am going to show you throughout this tutorial, but this one is my favourite in foundation because it's like a neutral shade. I'm just going to put 2 drops, mix it all in, and then pop it on my face. And I'm just going to show you the difference. Can you already see that glow? It makes the foundation just a little bit sheerer, and then it also gives you like a beautiful glow to the skin. I feel like this is like an easier, I would say cheap way for like that healthy looking glow. Because you're still going to powder on top on the areas like underneath the eyes, you're still going to put concealer on and stuff, but it just makes your foundation look dewy, whereas this side's a bit flat. Even though you have got a little bit of shine, this side's just got more like body to it. So that is what I've been doing recently to get my winter fake summer glow. So I'm just going to wipe this side off and then do the same for that side so I'm matching. I hate using wipes on my face. I normally like my micellar water, but it's in the other room and I'm too lazy. So now we've got a nice glowy face, I'm going to move on to the under eyes. For my corrector, I'm going to just be taking my Becca Under Eye Makeup Brightener. I did used to use the medium to dark one, but I've changed to the light to medium one by accident. And I thought, oh no, like panicked, and I was like, I'm going to have to get the other one. I must have just accidentally pressed the wrong one. But I actually really like this one. I feel like maybe I was using one too dark for me, because whenever I used to put my concealer on, if I use a lighter concealer, as in texture, than like a full coverage one, you could always see the salmon tone underneath. Whereas this you can't, and it does really brighten up the under eye. So I feel like a silver lining and everything. And then I'm going to take my Bare Minerals Bare Skin concealer. I honestly I always say this, but it's such an underrated product. I feel like no one talks about this. And if you're dry under the eyes, this product is amazing. I think it's got serum in it. So it just keeps, again, like that glowy type of look. But hydrating as well. And then when you powder it, because it's not matte, it doesn't go really dry and cakey. So I do recommend to try it. It does take a while to figure out a powder that works well with it. I really like the Too Faced one, but I'm not keen the Laura Mercier one with it. So Too Faced powder as well as this concealer is a... And I prefer my sponge with concealer because it's like a delicate area underneath the eye. I watched an Instagram story, Get Ready With Me, with NIKKI, and she uses like everything cream on the face because obviously it's that glowy natural kind of look, even though it is probably like a fuller coverage kind of product. So for bronzer, I'm going to be taking my Iconic London Illuminating Drops in Glow. So this is like the bronzy shade. Just going to take a couple of drops, and I like using it on this HD blend brush, and I'm just going to I'm basically going to start buffing it into my hand, and then I'll buff it onto my face. So you just want to place it where you'd normally bronze. Underneath my bottom lip, that's like a little trick to make your lips look bigger. And then just on top of your lips in the centre. Underneath my nose to make it look shorter. And then on the other side. Because I really like a bronzy forehead, and it makes my forehead look smaller. So I will normally go in with a little bit of powder bronzer, not to add more colour, just to set it, because I have got oily skin. So whenever you put a cream down, if you're really oily, you should powder it just to lock it in place. You could totally do this with a translucent powder though, but I do prefer bronzer. The tiniest amount, rub it off on my arm and just pat it like that. Just so it sets it a bit. And even though, as I've used this a couple of times and not a lot has come off of this brush, I feel like these brushes don't like collect and suck in products. Like that's mad. Normally with like a contour and like a bronzer, it sucks loads of it in, and it is a lot darker than that. So yeah, I'm impressed. Taking the original shade and blending it out into my hand, and then I'm going to pat it on to my cheekbone. I'm going to go like on the brow bone as well, the top of the brow, down my nose, on the tip, top of my lip, and then on my other cheekbone, brow bone. So now, no, before we powder, I was going to powder, but I was like, actually I've got another illuminator to go. I'm going to be taking this illuminator in the shade Blush. So this has got like a nice blush shade to it. So a little bit goes a really long way. I'm just going to take the same brush and I'm going to just pop it in between the contour and highlighter. And it just gives you like a beautiful blush, glowy blush shade. Then I'm just going to take my sponge and I'm just going to press everything in before I powder. And then I'm taking my little brush, my Too Faced powder, and I'm going to powder underneath the eyes, on the sides of the nose because I get oily there. And I'm just going to take the tip of that into the powder and then lightly brush this in the centre of my forehead and then on my chin. So now for the brows. Everything's very soft with her, so I feel like doing brow gel first, getting the shape, and then I'll fill in where I need to. So I'm taking my Benefit 24-hour brow setter and I'm just going to start brushing the hairs up. I don't really have long or thick brows. My brow hair's actually very fine and it feels very soft. I'm a Greek, but my brows are not Greek. They are not. Natural brows I find much harder than Instagram brows to do. Like, much harder. I'm going to use my Anastasia number 12 brush. I like number 12 and 14. They'll do. I'm going to take the taupe shade again and just run it along the outer corner. Lightly bring it in. And then taking Fudge again and kind of dotting this on the outer corner again. And then I'm just going to be taking champagne and I'm going to pop this on the inner corner of my eyes. This shade makes the perfect inner corner shade. Like, it's just perfect, if I do say so myself. I like to put champagne as well, just on the tip of my nose. So for lashes today, I'm just going to be taking individual little lashes. I'm taking the Ardell individuals in long and the medium black. I always get the not free ones just because they look more natural on the lash line. A blob of dew on the back of my hand and then wait for that to get a bit tacky. So I'm just going to start placing them on. And I leave little gaps in between because I'm going to fill in the gaps with the long ones. And then I'm just going to do the same on the other side. So I put on about 5 mediums and 2 long ones. Lashes done. Right, for lips, because I'm filming a lip tutorial for Instagram with this lipstick, I'm going to show you what I'm using and then I'll show you clips of like the Instagram tutorial. I'm going to be using a Makeup Forever pencil. This one's in Free Burgundy. But then this one's a black one and it's called Whatever Black. And I'm not sure what line I'm going to use with this lipstick yet. I haven't decided. I might be daring and use a black. But this is the NARS Holiday Collection lipstick in the shade I don't even know. That. But it's absolutely beautiful. Look at the lipstick. That's mad. Like, it's sick.
Do you care about me cause you're lonely? Cause I'm the only one around. You say you are better safe than sorry, cause you're too scared to hit the ground. Might seem dark but you know that I'm honest. Might look broke but you know I can solve it. Do you care about me cause you're lonely? Cause I'm the only one around. I don't wanna be your blanket that you wrap around to forget about. I don't wanna be the same thing that you left before. Do it all.
Okay, that literally is completed, the makeup look. So it's like soft, glowy, glam, still full glam makeup look though. So I've still got an eyelash stuck to my hand. Once I was getting a pedicure and Steph, who's like my nail lady slash friend, she took off my sock and she was like, "You've got an eyelash stuck to your foot." She just thought it was the most funniest thing ever. She literally found it hilarious. Anyway, sidetracked. But yeah, this is the finished makeup look. I hope you guys did enjoy this tutorial and maybe learned something new. You know what to do. You can leave me some comments in the comment section below, and you can find me on all other social media platforms. It's Amy's Makeup Box. So until next time, I love you guys, and I'll see you very soon.